Hello and welcome to how I play my level 85 wizard. Now, if you are a heroic character, this should work for you, but keep in mind this is how I play my character, and I play my character boxing with six of my other characters, or five of my other characters. So there's some variance there, and I'm doing things a certain way because this, it makes sense for me. But with that out of the way, we're going to talk about spells. We're going to talk about my multi-bind, because you should be using a multi-bind if you are playing a character in this game. And we're going to talk about an updated burn profile that I got going here. And I think that's about it. I made a mana burn hot button like I said I would. So let's talk about it. So at 85, we got the spell Twin Cast, which allows us to twin cast any spell. I currently have the buff on. Inside the guild hall here, it will not wear off. Now if I cast like Claw of Goreen here, my next spell, it twin casts, so it does double damage. So keep that in mind, and then we'll kind of see how this goes here. So always cast it. It is second in my multi-bind after a concussive flash, because concussive flash does no damage. But that's the way I have it set up right now. Next, I have Claw of Goreen, which is a 1.5 second frost nuke. So you're going to see a trend here. I go for the fastest cast times I can find when it comes to damage right now. 2300 damage, not the greatest, but not terrible, right? With all the bonuses, like the focuses and stuff, I'm at 2900 damage. Crit would be, let's see, there's probably a crit up here. There's a critical twin cast for 12k, so it's not terrible, but it's not the best. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Next up, I have Thrice Woven Energy, which is the magic nuke. Weaves Mana Bolt and Energy, doing 5700 damage. There's a chance that this pattern will weave into a harness to increase the effect of your next direct damage spell. Now, let's see if we can get one of these to proc real quick. Thrice Woven. Oh, there you go. We got Thrice Woven Power. So this will increase the damage of our next spell we cast by 100%. So keep that in mind. Next up, we have a Flash Blaze, which your target is consumed in flash fires. No, actually, I skipped one. No, Concussion Flash. We'll talk about that one here too. But Flash Blaze. Instant cast, it's high mana, it's 1200 mana reduced down to 658, but it does 5700 damage in its instant right now. I have it right after Thrice Woven, so if Thrice Woven procs and I get the power, I will then get this one, which does 1200 or 12,000 damage with the bonus, and then it did a twin cast of 8100, so extensively awesome in getting some bonus power out of that. But like the way this works, like it's an 8-second cast, so you might not, it's not guaranteed that it'll do that. Let's see here. I don't know why twin cast is in there twice. Maybe I was doing something crazy. Did I changed spell order here? Yeah, that's what I did. I got rid of the other fire nuke we had in the level 80 video. The only time that would ever trigger is when the bard was doing quick time, and it was just like a very specific, I would say lag was probably attributed. It wasn't hitting enough to matter. So these spells seem to hit all the time in the multi-bind. So let's see here. Concussive Flash, so I skipped this one, but it's our current concussion. It lowers our hatred, and there is a bonus, like if I cast it right, the next 3 spells, that will give us Acromancy. Do we really get Acromancy from that? Increases the damage done by your next 5 spells, right? And let's see if I can get this one going here. Come on, cast. There we go. All right, there's another proc that'll come out sometimes, and it will give you a 3 proc to lower the hatred on the next 3. And it's random on what you get, but it's not 100%. So, all right, so that's 1 through 5. That's our bread and butter, if you will. Now I have this flame blade right here. I don't do anything with it. This is the level 79 version. I think we got a new version. I stopped using it. So summon animation. There's a level 84 version, and the recast time is like instant, right? So I can go behind him right now. It's a cool spell if you're playing a character and you're not boxing, right? Like you can cast it out there, and it's not going to recast it using the multi-bind, right? It's just going to exist until this mob dies. So it's kind of nice, but not really that useful the way I play. So next up we have Funnel of Frigidity. Now this isn't in my multi-bind right now, but it is going to make it into my multi-bind when I'm the same level as my Shadow Knight, because and I have tier 4 House of Thule gear, so I can actually withstand a hit. This spell is an insta-cast AoE Frost Nuke. Hits 12 mobs, right? So if we're going to target this guy, hit this, all those guys got hit with like the coolest Ice Comet looking animation. Now, it has a multi-second recast, so it's definitely great for putting in a multi-bind. And I feel like this is going to be part of our rotation going forward, but not right now because I will die. My Beast Lord does some AoE damage stuff, and he pulls aggro on mobs that I'm not actively fighting, and it causes causes chaos sometimes. So this is going to be up in next. I think that's where I had that double twin cast in there because I switched some spells around, but it's going to go here probably in this slot right here, so that it's used on cooldown. Insta cast means I can get that out there, and it's not going to really affect anything. Like if I put it in right now and I start hitting my multi-bind, right? Concussive Flash, Call of Zul, Mana Rod got used, Twice Woven Soul. You can see all the buffs right here. There's the Concussive Chill, Thrice Woven, Claw, Thrice Woven. It's like every other one is Thrice Woven, I believe. Yeah. Plus Concussive Blast to keep my aggro down. Claw. And you're not going to see the Fire one cast because it's instant, and you didn't see the Funnel cast because it will be instant also. You should see the spell animation though. I don't know why. It got used, so I don't know there. I don't know. Maybe there's like a particle limit on this account or something like that. It is going right now. But you can see there, it's there. You can see our DPS has doubled since level 80. We were at what was like 2k, 1 to 2k DPS. Now we're at, getting into 5k DPS with this current rotation. So let's go ahead and stop that. All right, so after that I have Talendor's Presence, and I try to keep these AoE ones update in here, but I don't use them. It's just not practical, but it hits everything on the screen. It's fantastic. So it's kind of nice. Evacuate, I still have that on there, and I haven't used the spell, so the spell is probably going to be going in the next by level 90. Exodus is down to 14 minutes, and I do use Exodus. Like it has been a lifesaver in certain situations where I need to evac because something's gone wrong. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to the library in House of Thule, but that zone is terrible when it comes to mobs not being where you are, or you can see them and stuff, pulling through the walls. I've been summoned because like all the mobs in that zone summon for some reason, and they will summon my Shadow Knight to some random spot that they got hit from and kill him because there's so many mobs and there's no healing. So it's terrible. So I have to evac everybody else out. So it's just to save the day. It works really well. So next up I have of the Crystal Wing, Squame of the Crystal Wing. This is a rune that gives us mana regen. So I like to get as much mana regen as I possibly can. Now my gear is terrible right now, but I do have 622 mana regen, which is, I think, pretty good. Like if I compare it to my 91 mage, she's at 829. So and that's with, you know, some of the things that mages get. So I feel like I'm close. When I get my full tier 4 House of Thule gear and stuff like that, I will feel like I'm probably closer to that, and we'll evaluate that at the level 90 video when I can actually wear that. Next up, I have Serene Harvest, which is our current level harvest spell. I haven't really needed to use harvest at all, in all honesty. Now I have a harvest button right here on this button, which casts the spell and uses the AA harvest right here, this one, so it restores 5,000 mana. I have not had to use it. I don't really lose mana that much right now. I just don't know what it is. Like he's not draining his mana. I'm not, you know, I'm killing constantly with my group, but he's not really losing enough mana to even need that. So, you know, I removed them from the multi-bind, I believe, in level 75 or 80. So I might even remove it from the bar here pretty soon. I don't know yet how that's gonna go. Yeah. And then I have Knowledge Portal in my last slot, just so I can teleport out, buy spells and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. It's like if you like do any googling for, like, you know, wizard and mage, or a wizard and druid, you know, all the different things like that, and you know, people tell you that not having a porter is fine because, you know, you don't need it, right? Like it is so much convenience into a group, right? Especially this group here where, you know, I already had a mage, so I get Call a Hero. Now I have porting, which allows me to port places. Like I can bind him. I bound him in the grounds because he didn't have the port yet, and I can teleport the entire group to the grounds at level 69 when I got the spell, the thing, right? So as soon as he could bind somewhere, I can bring the whole group there. It saves me so much time, right? Like who cares about porting to places, right? Like I don't care about porting to, like, you know, random places. It's not as important, but I can, instead of running all 6 characters somewhere, I can just run the wizard, bind him in a safe spot, campfire back to where the group is or whatever, and wham bam, thank you man, I can take every single buddy there in a single spell. It's pretty cool. And another thing that's really neat is I can also teleport using I can take myself, I get 3 bind points, right? I get a secondary recall, so I can set myself bound in, you know, wherever I have my group bound, right? Like, which is guild lobby. I can use my mark of travel ability, bind myself there, and then I can secondary recall myself to them and then teleport them to my primary bind. It's a pretty neat little way of getting around the world, I think. Like my druid could do it. I just never really thought about it that much because it is, you know, something that was just not something on my mind, right? But now, like, if I want to go, you know, back to the grounds, like I have the port now, but before I just go to the grounds. Now, if I'm fighting at like a certain spot, right, in any zone, I can just bind the wizard there and teleport the whole group there. It's gonna change the way I do some stuff, like, definitely. And I feel like I'm probably gonna just keep the wizard in the group all the way to 125 at this point, just to do it, because I feel like he's getting strong right now. If we compare some stuff here, I've kind of like hijacked everything. So let's go to the last mob I fought right here inside the Gribbles mission, where I was leveling this guy to get him to 85. If we take a look at the damage, right, he's still the lowest damage at 4.6 thousand DPS. Now, he is not far off. I mean, he's far off, but he's not that far off from everybody else. Like, if you think about it, right? Like, damage done, he just needs 150k to get to the Beast Lord, and the Beast Lord wasn't meleeing, so don't really think about that too much. But really, I want to surpass the mage, and that's kind of where I'm going. I think at level 90 with full full gear, I think he could outdo her significantly. Like, I feel like it's a long way, it feels like, you know, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's that far away, because from 85 to 90, that is a huge jump, right? And so I feel like that's going to be kind of nice. Now, this is Target Dummy Meta. So let me see if I can find that one real quick. Here it is, Combat Dummy Meta. You can see here I'm doing 4.6 on this guy right here. I did, you know, how long was that? 215 seconds. Well, as the pet was doing some stuff too, so I don't know how long that was. But you can see like the damage is starting to get pretty nice. But yeah. But so that's the spells I use and stuff like that. Now the spell hotbar pretty much the same. Still, you know, X target 19 to assist, use the mod rods, pets attack, pet swarms. My burn 1 is complete, so silent casting, frenzied devastation, fury of the gods, ward of destruction, spire of arcanium, and then on this one I have forceful rejuvenation, and then I have use item 17, which is use our robe. I technically do not have a current robe. I still use the Paragon robe, but at level 90 I'll have the right robe, and that will be good to go there. We also picked up Hole in the Space, which is our evade. Allows us to, believe in turn invisibility and evade whatever's attacking us. Pretty nice. My harvest button right here just is convenience for me. So I have a shift, or no, this is actually numpad 7 on my mouse is the button I use for doing all the short duration buffs. So it's at the same time, Wizard doesn't have any short duration buffs. So I use this for his, you know, it's usually like a break time when I'm doing that. So I'll, you know, get that extra mana coming back there. Let's see here. Teleport bind, you know, I just talked about that for a while. It's fantastic. Nexus gate, I don't even know why I have it on my bar. Teleports me to the Nexus, I believe it's instantly. So it's kind of crazy. It's a 1 hour reuse. But that's convenient, right? Like if I want to get somewhere, I can, you know, I can do that and then run off, bind myself, teleport back. You know, it's just like different options available. Right, the rest of these are just other teleport things like the tower and plane of knowledge, campfires and stuff like that. All right, so the multi-bind changed. It's concussive flash, twin cast, thrice roven, flash blaze, claw of Goreen, and then we have funnel in there. I just literally put it in here while we're talking because I switched up some stuff at the last second there. But I feel like this spell, well, I'm going to try it out from 85-90. Well, I'll tell you how it goes. But I feel like this is going to be fun because it's going to add a lot of AoE damage. And I've been pulling AoE pulls with my Shadow Knight, right? He can handle, you know, 3 to 5, maybe more mobs. Like in the grounds, he can hold, you know, like maybe 5 to 10, depending on what they are. If there's a named in there, it gets a little dicey at times, but he's able to handle it, right? And I'm always AoE taunting with his lineup, so it might not work as bad. Now on like single pulls, like 1 or 2, I don't usually do the AoE taunts, so like the Beast Lord gets aggro, but she's able to take a few hits, and it's not really a big deal. But I don't think, like, he's got 73,000 hit points. She's got 95,000 hit points, so it's, you know, there's some differences there that might account, you know, get him killed, but I don't feel like it's gonna be too big a deal right now. Force of Will, we're gonna add Force of Ice and Flame once we get those in there too, but instacast magic nuke, so free damage is free damage. Obviously it takes mana, but it's instant, so that's free damage to me. And then we have Call of Azul's, whatever this is. This is the Swarm Pet. Still does the 692 damage nuke, but hopefully that changes at some point. There we go. It does change at level 90 to 1,000 damage. And a chance to do Gift of something, which increases the base damage of 1 spell. So that's kind of nice. That's a nice little change that's going to happen at level 90. But that's, you know, I use it on cooldown and stuff like that. Now, We did get snare, but I don't need snare. Shadow Knight has snare, Beast Sword has snare. I don't need the Wizard snare, which is an AoE snare, so it's got some use to it, but it's not any use for me. But, cast it on him. See, it hits a few mobs, right? It's nice. If you're soloing, you know, when I get this character to 125, I'll do solo videos for everybody, showing how to solo at 125, but I just don't feel like there's any need at these lower levels to try and solo at all, because it's totally inefficient to solo, right? The only way I would solo is at 125 when I'm trying to get an AA or two and I just don't want to log in all my characters. It's inefficient to do anything like that. Like, the fact that a Shadow Knight and a Shaman can kill things faster than a lot of my other characters is pretty telling, right? Like, and that's only because they have, like, I need the heals, right? Like, if I had full raid gear on my Shadow Knight, I don't think he would need anything at all. And we'll see. I'll probably buy him a full set of the Outer Brood or Lorien Song raid gear at 125, just for fun. But right now, I don't see any. I don't see any reason to solo because it's just not efficient. Let's see here. Not much else there. We got, you know, upgraded improved familiar. Make sure you use that at all times. I did build a mana burn button, which is Mind Crash, Mana Burn, Arcane Whisper. If like we hit that, you can see there now Mana Burn. It's got a long cast time, but it obliterates the mob. 80,000 damage. You know, not bad. Not bad. If it crit, it would probably have been better. Does not twin cast, so it is the, you know, what it is there. Now I could probably, since that was a cast time, I should probably put a pause there, but I'll just figure that out later. I don't know what the exact cast time on Mana Burn is. Doesn't say, so I'll have to look up on the thing so I can get the pause down for that. But ideally what I'm doing is I'm lowering my aggro, casting Mana Burn, and then lowering my aggro again, just to kind of make that a little easier. But I think that's everything gear wise. You're gonna want House of Thule tier 1 or better at this point. You can, I think you can get like tier 2 in certain cases, certain items. Yeah, tier 2 is at 82. So at 80 you can get tier 1, 82 you can get tier 2, and then I don't have anything better than that right now. I haven't been to the higher tiers yet. But the 8, that's kind of where you want to go. Let me check real quick. Oh, never mind. All my characters have tier 4. So that's kind of be where you're going to go with that. And the tiers are just, you know, the different things there. 85 is where Seeds of Destruction cap, you know, is the end right there. Yeah, but Seeds of Destruction is where 85 is like the level cap. And then from 85 to 90 is House of Thule. But if you're on live, you're gonna want to be in the House of Thule at 80. Because it's just better experience than Seeds of Destruction. But you can stay in Seeds of Destruction until 90 if you really want to. I just don't recommend it. But gear-wise, you know, like House of Thule is better. Underfoot is in between. Underfoot's a level 85 expansion, and there is gear there. But whenever I go to Underfoot at 85, I get my ass beat. Like I can kill House of Thule tier 1 at 80, no problem. Going to Underfoot at 85, I feel like I get destroyed. Like, I don't know what it is. The mob just hit really hard. Maybe House of Thule is undertuned for the level, but I always skip Underfoot. Now we'll probably go back and do the quest in Underfoot at some point, but I you know, this group skipped right to House of Thule. So that's where I'm at now. I think that's probably everything. I think as you level up, the one spell that's never going to change is Twin Cast. You're going to want to get the ranks of that when you can. Those come from the raids, and I think the raids and the groups in Seeds of Destruction, I believe that's where it is. I'll do a video on that when these guys get to 125 and I can solo the raids, just so it's a cleaner video. I don't think you can really do it much before 120, 125 anyway, so we'll do that. Then we'll get the twin cast tier 3, rank 3 and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm extremely happy with this character right now. Like, his DPS is, you know, low, right? It's like 5k. And he's got, you know, what, 30k to go to catch up with the mage, and I feel like he's gonna do it. I just don't feel like he's not going to. I think as he gets closer to 125, he's gonna blow everybody else in the group out of the water, but we'll see how that goes. I could be wrong. And I'm loving the utility he's adding by adding the ports in the groups. It just makes getting to places quicker for me, because I play for a little while and then I go back to guild hall and I go do something else in life. Like, I don't play for very long anymore, so it's, if being able to get somewhere fast and do things is worth a lot of money to me. That's why I like the mage. That's why I like this wizard now. It's just convenience is really useful to me. But there we go. That's the 85 wizard. If you have any questions or comments and I missed something important, is there another spell that I should be casting? Please let me know, and I will look into it. Thank you very much for watching. Please have a fantastic day.